Hi everyone, it's me, Andrea. I will show you some ATCs today. It is initiated by the Facebook group Studio ABC. So I will put all the information down below into the description box. I use here a cleanup paper, leftover paint on it, nude it down with a bit of gesso here and cut it to size. I wanted to get rid of this untreated edges there. And then I cut it into ATC sizes. And one ATC size is 2.5 by 3.5 inch. And I got 4 out of here. And it is actually an ATC swap. Couldn't get hold of my swap partner so far, but I don't mind. I go on with it anyway. Made them, so I will show them. And I made 4, and the theme is winter. So I start here with my relief paste from Marabou. It is outliner for glass, actually making glass art. But they are pretty good for having raised areas, textured areas, and you can write with it. And here I make some painting with it even. It's a clear one. You can get them in all sorts of colors, but here I use the clear one because I was only after the texture. And the first one is a scene, a wintry scene, some trees on a hill or so. I start with the blue and I will use on all the cards the same color. That is what the cards have in common. That's my theme, the wintry, cold colors here. And on this one, as I said, these are with hills and trees. Very simple, so very sketchy, not very, very realistic. Of course not. I can't paint or can't draw realistic. And I wasn't after that. So, and I tried to get a bit of a wintry scene here. There's a bit of white on top. And so I go on with the paint on the other one. And this is a very abstract one. And it is, what do you call that in English? So I'm reading a book at the moment, absolutely interesting. It's a mathematic thing actually. So interesting. Yeah, it's quite interesting because art and mathematics, this, don't know, what do you call this golden cut or this golden thingy in English, where you have the perfect proportion and that goes throughout the whole, since, yeah, to every bit of art you can make. And that's what suits the eye, when you look at it and when you have this perfect, balanced, proportioned piece of art. And that's what I'm reading about at the moment. It is incredible, it's all, yeah, it has to do with mathematics. And yeah, so that's something I put down in this proportion. So this is simply circles, and the other one is circles as well, playing around with it a bit. But I stay in these colors. I use green, that's an olive green, that is turquoise, that's a light blue, middle blue it's called, and it's all acrylic paint, and white of course, and some grey I use. And this is this golden cut. I can't remember, what do you call that in English? I hope I will find that, but I doubt that. And I'm trying to get some transition here with the paint or the colors, trying or blending a lot with my fingers. So this is the last one, and that's circles too. A bit different, a bit more sketchy, but yeah, and do the same. So for those of you who don't know what ATCs are, it is, oh look, actually I always go over with a baby wipe to get the background through this clear lines I made there with this relief paste. So when you don't know what ATCs are, they are this 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards. It was actually initiated in the 90s, end of the 90s, I think, by a Swiss guy, Vincent Stirnemann. So he had this idea of artists swapping this little piece of art, to represent their style. And yeah, they made series and they swapped them. And I think he stopped at some stage because there were so many, and because you could send it to him, and he organized the swapping partners and everything. You got, when you sent 10 to his address, then you would get 10 back from other artists. But he stopped it at some stage. It went out of hand, I think, too much. Okay, I start here, or I go on here with the wintry scene and use some of my snow paste, and that's quite a sparkly one. And this one I simply outline with a fine liner to put a bit more, to define the lines a bit more. And the other ones I go back with all my colors I'm using, the greens and the blues and turquoise and so on, to get more visible texture on my little ATCs. And I mainly use my fingers. I like to paint with my fingers a lot. So outlining here a bit with the green, or not outlining, but the edges go in as well. So yeah. Next one, more blue here. So it's building up layers, putting different layers on top of each other. And I introduced the burnt sienna on top of this wintry scene as well for the trees, and that's why I use it on the other ones as well. And I think burnt sienna always goes well with blues and greens. I really like this combination. I put it here down with a brush for a bit of shading. And yeah, it's what I have this, as I said, I have this two circled one, but I definitely want to have them differently done. Yeah, I'm not making for equal ones. They should be different, but of course they belong to one series because it's a winter theme. Even though the winter theme is only obvious on the scenery on top of that ATC. But as I said, I stayed in the same colors, so to me it's a series. And here I wanted to have a bit more going on in the background, and I picked my own idea up. I made not the same, but I made something like that in my November daily art videos, when it was, the theme was circles as well. I've done some sort of that different. It's different, but it's the same idea behind that. It's a big circle here, and yeah, that will be my planet in the background. It's the universe. Okay, the colors of this universe doesn't. Yeah, it's not really very far in the universe. It is a bit lower, so that you just have left, and you can see other planets and planet Earth, of course. Yeah, that's my planet, as I said it before in the November daily art. That's Andrea planet, or planet Andrea. I go on here with the same colors, whites and blues, and that's what a planet, or this planet, is all about. Greens and blues, water and land and clouds. Bit of shading here, using the brown, the sienna, burnt sienna, and get a bit more definition on that one. But yeah, a bit of white, of course, in the background. That gives me a bit more more dimension here. So I will. What do I next? I can't remember. I can't see. Oh, a bit of the texture. I picked the texture up here. You won't see it at the moment. You will see that later in the close-ups. And this circles, actually, I wanted to have them a bit shiny, so that's why I use my, that's a glittery Mod Podge. It is, yeah, it has this holographic sparkle in there. It looks really nice, and I wanted to have this circle. It's very sparkly. Edge it now with the leftover, that's a dark brown, or is it black? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I wanted to have dark edges, and that's what I use on all of them. And I go in a sketchy way around these trees on the wintry scene with a very fine liner. It's a 0.05, I think it is. I'll need to define the lines a bit more, but in a very, very sketchy way. I didn't want to, do it more realistic. Oh, a few birds I put down here in the background at the horizon. So in here I missed a bit of, something, and I thought these lines would be nice. I put them down in with a pencil first, and then I go in with my fine liner, and I put some dots on top. Not very visible at the moment. I will use my relief paste to have the dots a bit more dimensional, to have them more textured, that they erased what I do here now. Good thing with this relief paste is it dries really quick. 10 minutes it's dry then. Okay, it depends of course on how thick you put it down, but in average it's 10 minutes. So now the words. This is simply winter, and I use this Tim Holtz Chit Chat word stickers. This is my world or planet. I think it's my world. Yeah. Can't decide where to put it down. There. Not sure. Bit fuzzy. There, it's better. That's my world, and the other ones are without words. I put some of my, it is Liquitex varnish. It's a glossy varnish that gives a nice glossy finish. And that's the last bit I do. I put some sketchy lines around the words, and that's it. And now you will see already the close up. That's the finished cards. I go in a bit closer. This is the wintry scenery. I quite like this one, and the shine. I really like the sparkly winter or snow paste. I really like that one. And I love this one. But as I said, this is the idea out of the book. Actually, that's what you do with ATCs. You sign them, date them, you put your name and information down, and what it calls, of course, the name you give it. And I will show it at the very end what you do as well. If it's a series, you number the series, of course. I quite like this one, and you can see the texture. As I said before, to get this texture out, I went lightly over it with a finger covered in paint, and here's the shine. Really nice. So, and that's it. So guys, thank you a lot for watching. I hope you like it. ATCs is not what I do a lot, but every now and again I quite like to work on something tiny. And here I number them and did it wrong. And okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you like it, and I hope I will see you soon with my next project. So have a fantastic time. Bye bye.